Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 19 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. This is going to be the last episode for Moon Series, as we're going to be switching to Ultra Series next week. Of course, for those that don't know, VGC has a set list of rotating rule sets this year, so Moon Series was kind of like an edited Sun version, and Ultra is going to be dramatically different, kind of mirroring what we saw back in 2016 with everything allowed. So should be really exciting. I'm super excited to play that format, but before we conclude with Moon Series, I wanted to try out this one really awesome team that was built by a player named Allan Martinez, who used it to get top 4 and I think top 8 at 2 different regionals at the end of this season for Moon Series. It's a really fun team, got a lot of fun tricks up its sleeve, and features a really cool restricted Pokemon in Ho-Oh. I've linked to the QR code and his Twitter in the description below, so definitely go check Allan out. And yeah, thank you to all the players who've offered their teams up for me to try out in Moon Series. I didn't really have much time, nor was I too focused on building my own stuff this format, but I think with Ultra, I definitely should be a little bit more inspired to just play more in general, make more content, and definitely try out more teams as well. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing what that format brings and to learning it and playing it. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it, and we're just going to look for our first opponent today. Alright, we're going to find our first opponent of the day, and there is another Shedinja. Oh man, I think we played Shedinja in the last 3 episodes in a row. It's like really hard to find battles on BattleSpot at this point because everyone's just waiting for Ultra Series, and so not surprised to see people try out more eccentric teams in Pokemon, but it's funny that Shedinja really became a staple of the meta towards the end of the season. It's very annoying to deal with. So pretty cool to see it become relevant, really, in a VGC format, because it's kind of always been around. It actually, I think, won Worlds in 09 or got second. I forget whether it won in the finals or not. But yeah, interesting team. It's a standard Evil team, but basically replacing the Venusaur for Shedinja. So definitely an interesting sight. I'm gonna need Weavile and Ho-Oh to deal with it. Yeah, like I cannot basically allow Shedinja to do Shedinja things, and hopefully I learn from that last episode, because Francesco played really well with the Shedinja, and it was like a key, yeah, it was like pivotal to him winning that too. So obviously Kyogre's decent, but I'm very likely staring down the Assault Vest Yveltal, so I think I'll probably go Weavile, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Koko, just deciding in what order. Weavile is a pretty safe lead option here though. Thinking Weavile, Ho-Oh with Koko and Kyogre in the back, yeah. Mainly because, I mean, Weavile is just such a good lead option for this team. You have such a fast fake out, you can always fake out the opposing Incineroar, so you're pretty much guaranteeing that one thing's gonna flinch, and then I like how Ho-Oh looks against like the majority of my opponent's team here, and I do have some pretty good switch out options as well. But let's see. The other question is whether Shedinja even makes an appearance, but I do have to be careful because if I lose both of these guys, I just lose the Shedinja automatically. It is going to be Koko Yveltal though, okay. I mean, this is a relatively free fake out into Koko Tailwind. Yveltal can't really do too much to stop it unless it's not the Assault Vest variant and it is also carrying Tailwind, but even that wouldn't be too bad. It is going to be faster than my Ho-Oh, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I'm just going to fake out Koko and Tailwind here. Worst case, Yveltal just matches my Tailwind, but that's really not even too bad. He's actually going to swap out, so that's pretty ideal for us here as Instant's going to come out. Okay, so we do get Tailwind up, which is good. We also know 3 of my opponent's 4, and it's likely that Groudon's the last one, so no Shedinja to most likely deal with in this game, and we will get relatively free Water Spouts. Of course, however, if Groudon switches in, then Water Spouts doing significantly less, but it's a decent turn 1. This next turn's a little bit awkward, though, as my opponent does have Fake Out pressure and can get a big attack off with the Koko. I'd really like to save the Koko, because I do have the Z move as well. I just, like, don't really have great switch out options. It's probably better to switch out into my Koko. Yeah, I'll just go for a crash into my opponent's Koko and switch out into mine. I want to conserve the Ho-Oh because I've got the Z move, and Ho-Oh's super good against Groudon if it doesn't have Rock Tomb or Rock Slide / Stone Edge. No fake out comes up from the instant either, okay. So that's kind of annoying because I obviously could have attacked with Ho-Oh, but I'll still take this damage onto Kommo-o because it should be in knockout range from an attack now. When we actually get a flinch, which is one of those side effects from the Icicle Crash. It's a big U-turn off from the instant, but I'll take that turn for sure. Very fortunate flinch, although I would not have minded if it was going for the knockout onto Weavile, because then I'd get a free switch in. Wouldn't be surprised to see Groudon come out right now. Yeah, it is going to be the Groudon. So now we potentially have an opportunity to get the Kyogre in, but I'm going to have to switch out and finesse my way around things. I think I'd rather knock off Groudon's item because it's likely a berry. This is still kind of an awkward spot because nothing on this team has Protect. So I could go for... Like, I do have U-turns, so I could pivot out into the Ho-Oh. I'm just worried about Coco going for a electric type attack into that slot. Yeah, I'm going to knock off the Groudon and U-turn. And Coco could Protect. I don't think it will, though. Groudon switches out into Incin. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but it's not bad, I think. We get rid of a potential berry on the Incin, and if Coco doesn't Protect, we pivot out for free, too. Unless the Coco actually went for the electric type attack into my Coco, which would be an impressive read. I'm going to switch my Ho-Oh back out here. We're chipping away at my opponent slowly, and we haven't lost too much or taken too much damage, which is good. But let's see what my opponent's Coco... So we'll get rid of the instance, which is nice. It is the berry, and it is going to be the Volt Switch into the Weavile. Okay, good. I was like, man, if he called it and went into the Groudon slot, or sorry, the Ho-Oh slot, that would have been a really impressive read. But it's still okay. Yeah, you can't really bring Groudon out because then I bring Kyogre in for free. But this is still not bad because I still get Kyogre out right now. Do I even want to bring Kyogre out? I mean, I could just bring in Coco. I do have the Z move on Ho-Oh as well. That's the other really big thing. This is actually a pretty tough choice. Like with Coco, I can lock myself and just spam Wild Charge, but I think I like Kyogre a little bit more because nothing on my opponent's team resists the Water Spout. So even if you bring Groudon in, it's taking like 40%-ish from the Water Spout. And then if you set up the Sun for me, then I can just click Sacred Fire. So yeah, I'm going to Spout here. Oh, but Instant gets the turn to Fake Out. Because of that, I think Coco might have been better. But I'm going to go for the Z move here into Yveltal and Water Spout. Yeah, so he's going to Fake Out. Who's he going to Fake Out, though? Does go into Kyogre, so we get the Z move off with Ho-Oh. I don't know if that's enough to knock out Yveltal, but we'll see. This is definitely one of the more fun parts of this team. Because a lot of the Ho-Ohs that you saw in Moon Series ran, like, the Bulky Berries. But this one is, like, a slightly more offensive variant. If this just knocks out Yveltal, then we're going to be in a really, really good spot. Even if not, though, like, it's still pretty good. Oh, we don't knock it out. And Yveltal actually isn't. So it actually did have Tailwind. He just opted not to go for it earlier on. Interesting. So nice play by my opponent there for sure. I'm going to go for the Origin Pulse here. The one thing I'm worried about is Dark Z Yveltal. But yeah, I'm going to Tailwind my... If I get my own Tailwind to match my opponent's, then I should still be fine. Instant's going to switch. I can see Groudon coming out. So now the question is, can Yveltal knock out the Ho-Oh? If not, then I'll get my Tailwind up, but it could be like Dark Z. No, he's just snarling. Okay, I will take that for sure. Origin Pulse does connect, so it should be the knockout onto Yveltal because it's not assault vested. And it's so laggy. Although I think that's not the actual game, that's a little bit more on my computer, but yeah, still funny to see that. Alright, so we get our own Tailwind up, which means Kyogre is going to be faster than everything. However, we're kind of in an awkward spot right now. Like, Instant probably comes back in and fakes out the Ho-Oh. The question is whether the Groudon has a Rock-type attack or not. That's a really big question. Yeah, it's a shame the Z-move didn't knock out Yveltal. That would have really been clutch, but it still did so much damage, so you can't complain. Kyogre's definitely got to swap out here, so I'm going to go into Koko and go for the Sacred Fire. The goal is to just basically position Kyogre out and back in, but I might lose the Weather War because you can just fake out Ho-Oh and Precipice Blades relatively freely here. It's going to be a tight finish for sure. Well, let's see. No fake out, which is interesting. So we do get the Sacred Fire off, and we get the burn, which I think should seal us the game personally, but let's see. Especially because he does have a Rock-type attack and Ho-Oh misses it, so just everything going wrong there for my opponent. That is rather unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, the way that would have played out is if... I assume Rock Slide does knock out the Ho-Oh. But yeah, like, you have to... Sacred Fire has to not burn, and you have to hit the Rock Slide. So that was obviously, like, both of the best case scenarios happening for me. So definitely unfortunate. I do feel pretty bad about that. Especially because my opponent did have that Rock-type attack. But, yeah, what can you do? Okay, so let's see, though. If that had hit, Instant didn't protect... It'd knock out Ho-Oh, and I get the free switch and back out into Kyogre. So I think I still win the game because everything is in Origin Pulse KO range. Or even potentially Water Spout KO range. But let's finish up the game first and then talk about it. Okay. So last turn of Tailwind on my opponent's end. I wonder if Banned Quick Attack knocks out the Koko here. I shouldn't risk it. That was actually kind of risky, I think. Because that's a potential speed tie between the Kokos. Yeah, I don't know if I like my play there. Okay, the reason I didn't like the play this turn is if he wins the speed tie, if it is a speed tie indeed, and you electric type knock out the Koko, and I should have targeted Groudon, yeah, with my Koko. I guess my fear was Groudon protecting, so it ended up working out, but I think that was actually not a very good play. Because, yeah, if we do speed tie, my opponent wins the speed tie, then you knock out my Ho-Oh, I knock out Koko, and then Groudon knocks me out. I mean, I guess he's burned, so I don't think Fake Out Precipice Blades knocks my Kyogre out, but we didn't see a Z move yet up until this point, so that Groudon could have definitely had the Z move. Now we win, but this was not the best, like, not the cleanest played game at the end game for sure. Anyway, yeah, had I not gotten the Sacred Fire burn and the Rock Slide had connected, one, I'm not even sure if Rock Slide knocks out. I think it does, but I'm not entirely sure. It depends on, like, I could see it surviving if that Groudon has, like, not much attack investment. But let's assume it does knock out. Then, because of the U-turn, you have Koko and Groudon out, and now I have Kyogre and my Koko out. And Groudon's taken enough damage where a Water Spout, even in Sun, should knock it out. So, from that point... You probably protect the Koko, switch out the Groudon, but then the Incineroar just faints, so Groudon comes back in, and then, would it be a speed tie? No, I mean, I would have to choose carefully on my attack on Koko, but I probably would have locked myself into Quick Attack if I was in that position, actually, because I think Quick Attack is the best move in that point. Maybe Quick Attack was also the best play in the endgame there, I just wasn't sure if it would knock out the opposing Koko. Okay, let's say I choose to Brave Bird the Groudon. If Groudon protects and you knock out my Ho-Oh, then Kyogre just comes in for free. And then I just click Origin Pulse. It's the same position I would have been in, and I think it would have been a winning position anyway. Yeah, I think like Rock Slide, even had Rock Slide hit, I would have been in a fine position because I was setting myself up for an endgame where Kyogre sweeps. But yeah, I really didn't like my play where I Wild Charged the Koko, because... had I lost the speed tie, I potentially lose the game, especially if it's Z Groudon. If it's Z Groudon, then like I actually just 100% lose the game because then you just fake out Z move into Kyogre. So that was not a great play. I ended up working out, but like you don't want to be in a 50-50 position if you don't have to be in. I feel like Banned Quick Attack might have knocked out the Koko, but if it was like 5% lower, then I would have been confident in it. But I think it was in the range where it either like definitely survives or it's a roll. Like it's like not a guaranteed knockout. So I didn't feel too comfortable in that. Either way, the team played out great. I just think I could have made some better plays here and there, and it was tough switching out and in. Interesting to see that the Yveltal did end up having Tailwind. That's not what I was expecting when it switched out immediately turn 1. We don't get the knockout with the Z move, but we still end up getting a win there. But could have been a little bit clean. I could have played it a little bit cleaner towards the end as well, for sure. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you know, you can always just look back and learn from that. Either way, we're going to look for our next opponent today. Alright, we're going to find our second and final opponent for the Moon Series. It has been such a struggle to even find battles on ladder, but can't really blame anybody because everyone's waiting for the next series. But a fun team to end things on. This one's got a Raichu and a Kommo-o. So Zernlala, but Raichu, Kommo-o, Fini, and Cortana. If we win this one, we do end this series over 1800, so that would be a nice note to finish things off on. So see if we can get there or not. Raichu is really interesting here. Kommo-o can be quite annoying, but we do have Ho-Oh, which obviously can just go for Brave Bird. Could be super good here. So always the question is what I want to lead with. Weavile and Kyogre actually don't seem half bad here. Fast Fake Out, faster than the Raichu. Fast Knockoff, which can be good against the Xerneas and the Lunala. Thinking of just going for those two. I want to feature Ho-Oh, and I think it's decent enough to bring into this one because that's a really good matchup against the Xerneas, most notably. The question is, who do I want as the last one? So let's go Weavile, Kyogre, Koko. Look, I'd like Amoonguss, but Fini just makes it so hard to bring it into. Yeah, I'll bring Koko again. These are the more fun members of the team to play with anyway, so let's just go for it. Alright, let's see how this plays out. Kommo's really interesting. We didn't see it used too much, but I think like Ashton and Jeremy did put it on their Zernlala team and had used it for a bit. It's one of those where it's like, you can't bring it against opposing Xerneas teams, but against certain teams, you can kind of just click the Z move and go from there. Didn't expect to see one, but we're actually going to see it as a lead here as well. Interesting. Making me wish that I led Ho now a little bit more, but no worries. This is going to be a big turn 1 here. The question is whether like either of these two Pokemon protect. Because I'm definitely Water Spouting with Kyogre. It's just, do I go for like a knockoff into Lunala, the Ice Cold Crash into Kommo? Because if Tailwind goes up on my opponent's end, it's not looking too great for us, but the Z move also is not desirable. This is not a fun position to be in. Especially if one of it protects. Yeah, I'm gonna make the read and just try to knock out Kommo. Okay, no protect, which is good. Ideally, I mean, Lunala protects there, but I'll take that turn. Not if Ice Cold Crash misses. Oh, that's so bad for us. Oh my god. Maybe this isn't going to be the last game because this game might just be over. I do have to edit out the animation, so I'll see you guys after this. Yeah, that's like disastrous because now Kommo outspeeds everything. Everything's boosted up and this team doesn't have protect on anything, so I kind of just have to sack everyone here. I think I needed to pressure with my own Tailwind, so I needed to lead Ho-Oh in this game. I just really didn't think my opponent would lead Lunala or Kommo. But that ended up being quite a good lead. Yeah, Weavile Ho-Oh would have been definitely better. I can just fake out Tailwind. And I assume I survived the Z move from Lunala too. But I Should have thought more about the Kommo-Lunala lead. I mean, obviously if I hit that, then things aren't nearly as bad. Although you can just bring in Xerneas and Geomancy, so perhaps I'm still kind of screwed. Yeah, I just ended up not being as good of a lead as I thought it was going to be. Okay, in order to win, I need to get my own Tailwind up. So, I'm going to switch out. Yeah, I have to switch out, like fake out the Kommo, set out my own Tailwind, and then outstyle this Tailwind, and then maybe try to sweep with Ho-Oh, but I don't think... If Coco can survive this turn, maybe... I mean, yeah, that's just super unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna see the Clinking Scales. Think I survived that? Yeah, okay. That's not every day you see a Lunala psych up being a Kommo. That does buy us a turn though, and that might be enough to get us back into this. I do have banned Quick Attack. That might knock out Kommo. 2 turns of Tailwind to stall out. Quick Attack. Question is whether I want to swap Kyogre out right now. Because my opponent probably doesn't target it down here. It's kind of risky switching out into Weavile, but the thing is, I actually will be able to stall out this Tailwind because that was a relatively dud turn for my opponent. If Ban Quick Attack knocks out the Kommo, then I think we're back in this. It is at -1 defense from Clanking Scales. Let's see. Oh, close, but not enough. Yeah, I was really banking it off. Like, I don't think I had any other shot at winning. It's unfortunate. Yeah, if like Tailwind expired here, then I think I'd actually win the game, but I needed one more turn. Yeah, in retrospect, I guess I just need to lead Ho-Oh against Lunala, because, I mean, obviously the miss was unfortunate, but yeah. I should have just considered this lead option a little bit better. Maybe it's better to just get the knockout onto Lunala. It's just this team has like Psych Up and like 2 ways to boost, which is really scary. Although, yeah, I mean, I guess like if I lead Ho-Oh, I don't have to even worry about Lunala's Z move because obviously Kommo's the one Z moving. I mean, yeah, there's nothing I can really do here with everything so fast. I wonder if Ho-Oh could win this. No, I don't think it can. This is not how I want to end VGC 19 Moon Series on, so I think I'm going to play one more after this. Geist into Kyogre. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see a way to win this, honestly. Because Clanking Scale is a single target now, too. Well, that actually did less damage than I anticipated, honestly. Tailwindy might have been better there. Yeah, Tailwindy actually would have... It doesn't make much of a difference, actually. Alright, choose the last one so you can just fake out Clanking Scales. Sad game. Very sad. I think if the Quick Attack knocks out, then we're back into it, but I had nothing. I couldn't really do anything after turn 1, honestly, but once again, that's on me for putting myself in a position where I could just lose instantly on turn 1, although interesting to see Raichu not fake out there. But I'm sure it just has a, yeah, electric type attack to finish things off. So Tailwind would have been better, I guess, but it doesn't really make much of a difference because Ho-Oh can't 1v4 this anyway. But that was a game. And yeah, I do want to play one more because that's not how I want to end things on. I'm trying to think what else I really could have done. I think leading Ho-Oh was a necessity. I was just scared of the Raichu. That's the main reason I didn't want to lead it. But obviously I can counter the Raichu if I just lead my own Weavile. So Weavile Ho-Oh would have been the better lead for sure, especially given what my opponent ended up leading. Like, if you lead that into that, then I'm in a really good spot. The main issue is the missing the Crash did hurt, but I feel like Xerneas probably just comes out anyway. Yeah, if Zern comes out, then you Geomancy and Moongeist Beam. Although I could switch Weavile out, you knock something out, and then I get Weavile back in for the fake out. But I don't know. I mean, it would have been more of a better battle for sure. But we're gonna find our last opponent for Moon Series, running a relatively standard team, a Groudon Venusaur team that has Talonflame and Serena. We did see like variants of this team do pretty well throughout all of 2019, especially towards the end. As always, I'm going to bring Ho-Oh and Kyogre. I think I'm just going to go with the same 4, although maybe, I mean, Coco's still decent here to block out the sleep from the Venu. You could actually make an argument for a Mungus. I'm actually thinking about it right now. Either way, I'm going to lead Weavile Ho-Oh with Kyogre in the back. It's just, who do I want as the last one? I mean, ban Coco damage against Zern is actually really nuts too. Yeah, I think the damage is just too good to give up. Plus, I have Brave Bird on this one too. Or Allan does, I should say. So the Brave Bird can actually knock out the Venu and the Serena. Big question here is whether the Venu is Gracium Z or not. We did see Gracium Z Venu win like the last major event in 2019. Yuri did have it on Venusaur, as opposed to like the typical focus sash that we see. And that makes a big difference because it means that you have to play that much more careful with Kyogre because you're just going to get one shot by the Z move. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I got obliterated by that Kommo. Feels bad. Alright, Groudon Venu. That's not bad. The shiny forms from those are just so much uglier than the non-shiny forms. So we get Weavile Ho-Oh, which I really prefer, honestly. I guess the question is whether Groudon has a rock type attack or not. If it does, that makes things dicier. Because I think you definitely Sleep Powder the Ho-Oh. And if you have a rock type attack, you go for the rock type attack as well. What to do? Could also fake out Brave Bird the Venusaur. That seems kind of crazy though. There could be a Serena in the back as well. I think I'm just going to try to set up Tailwind. If I get Tailwind up, it's just super good for me here. Vena actually protects, okay. But that means we get Tailwind up. It's a good protect though, because that also indicates to me he's probably sashed. So now the question is, does Groudon have Rock Tomb? And we'll find out here. No, he goes for Fire Punch. Well, that's really good, because Ho-Oh's so good in this matchup. We get burned, but that actually could work in our favor because we get the free switching into Kyogre. But I mean, Weavile is really good in this matchup, but that's not the worst burn. Free switch into Kyogre is always appreciated. Yeah, so I mean, that actually ends up working out pretty nicely for us, especially because we know Venusaur protected last turn. Groudon's definitely going to want to switch out right now, but I'm still just going to click Water Spout. The question is, I think it's better to still just safely go for the Brave Bird on a Venusaur. Yeah. Now we could see Venu go for a double as Groudon maybe switches out into Incin, sacks the Incineroar, and if you get the double, then you get the Sun back up with Tailwind. Or not with Tailwind, but you get the Sun back up with Venu in the Sun. Chlorophyll, I meant. So we'll see. But yeah, that burn might have honestly helped us a little bit more because like you want Kyogre in this spot and you want to take advantage of all the turns of Tailwind. If this was Specs Ogre, I would I would just say GG right now, but it is Scarf Ogre. That being said, Kyogre still comes out in a really good spot. It's actually going to be Venu switching out, okay, into Sereno, sure. Because that's the Brave Bird knocking that out. And Groudon doesn't switch out, which I think should just be game. Yeah, I was like, unless Groudon somehow takes that Water Spout, but I'm not sure I understand that decision there, because like I went for the most obvious play, but there's like literally no reason not to because the Venusaur protected last turn. So it's like at worst our opponent goes for the double, but yeah, I'm not sure I understand the decision to conserve Venu when your Groudon's going down. I mean, I get it though, because then you still have Sleep Powder pressure, which could be really big. Because it's going to be Xerneas and Venu now. But I still feel quite good about my position. If I call the right target with Ho-Oh this turn, obviously I just win. Even if not though, I think we're still okay. Yeah, I guess it's actually better to give up. It's better to have Venu than it is to have the Groudon, so that makes sense, honestly, the more I think about it. Still got 2 turns of Tailwind. I want to Spout. The question is, who do I Z-move? Like, here it's obvious that I want to target down the Venusaur. Who do I have in the back again? It's Coco, I think. Yeah. Because of that, I think it's actually pretty safe to just Water Spout and Z-move the Venusaur. It's likely that Venusaur protects and Xerneas Geom. Okay, never mind. I think my opponent could have still fought back in that one. Yeah, I mean, the most likely play is you protect with Venusaur and you Geomancy with Xerneas. And what that allows you to do is you kind of get back into it because you get the Geomancy up, but then like you still have to stall at the last turn to protect, or Tailwind, so you have to protect the Xern. Spout probably does like 80%, enough for maybe even a Ban Quick Attack from Coco knocks you out. And Xerneas can't one-shot Ho-Oh even after the Geomancy boost. So by Z-move through Protect should do a ton, enough where another Water Spout actually knocks out the Venusaur. So that burn actually ended up like pretty much winning us the game instantly. Even without it though, I still felt like I was in a pretty good spot, but trading Weavile and getting in Kyogre, like I would say the burn actually helped us more than it hurt us. So some favorable RNG there. But yeah, given that the Groudon didn't go for a Rock type attack immediately, like Ho-Oh would have been had like a perfect matchup against that team to begin with. So yeah, we definitely take those. I don't think there was much my opponent could have done. I think if anything, you might want to try to switch out the Groudon and get Zern back in, but you know, the second and third games, they're both very one-sided because of the nature of this team specifically. It's like, okay, if you get Tailwind up and you can sweep, then you pretty much win. And if you fall behind speed control on your opponent's end, then you end up losing. But I, once again, should have considered the lead better in game 2. And leading Ho-Oh would have been a lot better for us. But pretty happy to feature Ho-Oh a bunch in this last episode. Thank you to Allan once again for offering the team, and you can check it out linked in the description below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. And next time we're back with Road to Ranked, we will be switching over to Ultra Series. So I'm looking forward to trying out a brand new format and trying out some brand new Pokemon and strategies. So for this one, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.